Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony for Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Molten Man, which is part of the Molten Man Build-A-Figure wave of Marvel Legends. Just kidding. I mean, it's true, but I didn't have to say it. Anyway, this is... well... I mean... there's not a whole lot to talk about here. So... let's get him off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands while slightly hunched over because his hand is sculpted flat for him to lean on it like a gorilla. Just about 8 1/4 inches, which makes him pretty close to 21 centimeters. And of course that will vary a lot depending on how you have him posed and how you have him leaning and whatnot. But that's how tall he is. Let me grab another figure so you have an idea. Here's your average Bucky Cap build. So there you go. He is that big. Alright. The aesthetics on this guy are interesting because part of it is done in a really nice way. Hasbro got clever and made him out of transparent orange and then painted gold on top. And the effect is exactly what they were going for. It looks like molten metal. You can see some hot spots and then the outside spots are cooling so they look more like metal rather than the orange. Lovely. Very nicely done. But then they only did it halfway and the other half of it looks like pure dog poop. It's dog poopy. It's not the right... oh my god, it's bad. And I guess maybe they intended it to be a darker color. I guess you could make that argument, but then they should have still made it out of transparent. So we go down here where it's just painted on. It's just painted on dark reddish orange. And it's not painted well. And it doesn't look great. It looks terrible. Same thing down here. The painted parts on this leg and this arm are gross. They're so terribly done. This looks awesome. This looked like crap. Same thing down here. They painted it a little bit down here. Absolute crap. They painted it up here. Not absolute crap, but pretty crappy still. It's not great. Not great at all. Very, very ugly. We have the I-beams stuck into his arm. You have to do that yourself, but it stays there pretty much. So that's done well enough. I guess it looks hot and then cooled. Same thing over here, so that's fine. But that's it for the aesthetic, really. I mean, the molten sculpt is, you know, it's supposed to look sloppy, and so they got away with a lot. I'll give that to them. That's okay. But those painted parts not matching the other parts, and it's not very intentional if it was, because you see it's like just orange here and then red here. It's not like a faded effect, so it's not like it's supposed to look like it's cooling as it gets to the end. It just doesn't look good. It looks terrible. The orange parts with the peeking through, oh, that's so nice. That's very clever, very well done. Then the rest is like they just said, screw it, we don't care how it looks. It's cheaper to do it this way, so we are. That sucks. So the aesthetic on this guy is only a 5 out of 10. These painted parts look terrible. Really, really bad. Very disappointed because this looks really, really cool. As far as the accessories goes, you don't have any because this you're going to leave in. Now, as far as the articulation goes, we have our average Marvel Legends hinge, which gives you some range, and then a ball peg, so it'll look around. That's about it. You get a little bit of attitude, but not really. For the shoulder, goes all the way up, no problem. You can rotate it around. Oh, well, let's try that again and see if it pops off again. It goes all the way around. Oh, I see. So this sticks out farther in the back and the arm doesn't clear it. So when you rotate it around, you have to have it out farther. Not that you need it to go backwards, but that's what it is. So don't worry, it shouldn't pop off. Whoa, wait a minute. It'll pop off if you go down too. So the way they sculpted it is you can't bring the arm down and rotate it or it pops off. Or it grinds. So that's... you have to keep the arm out basically if you want to swivel that shoulder. Alright, bicep swivel is in there. That's pretty good. Elbow joint is a single elbow joint which gives you about 90 degrees. It's pretty ugly looking. I don't know why they did that. Given that they had basically free reign to do whatever they wanted, they offset the elbow entirely. Like, that's weird, right? It looks fine straight, but then when you go like this, that doesn't make sense. So that's pretty weird. You do get rotation at the forearm there if you need it for some reason. And then, not for some reason, it's part of the joint. And then for the wrists, you have a swivel and a hinge, which is fine, I guess. On this side, ball hinge shoulder has less range than this shoulder. So that's the thing. It does rotate though without popping off, so that's pretty good. Bicep swivel is fine. Single jointed elbow. Less less than 90 degrees. It does rotate as well. And then the wrist is a swivel and a hinge again. Diaphragm joint on this guy is a single ball. Why did they do that? Okay, so I should have remembered this from when I put it together. So the diaphragm joint in this guy is a ball peg down here and then a swivel right here. So this swivels back and forth. You can see it. And then in here it's a ball peg. But I don't know if you can see this, but they put these stoppers in there. Those little fins are just stoppers to keep it from moving. So it has a very little range. When I put it together, you'll see it still has decent range, but those stoppers, I don't think they need to be there. Bandai does that a lot too. I don't quite get that. Okay, so for the torso, it still gets decent enough range. It wiggles back and forth a little bit on that swivel, and then it rotates, but it doesn't have much of that range from that ball peg. I don't know why they did that. They didn't need to put those stoppers in there at all, so that sucks. This is a soft piece, and there's a really nice ball peg in it, which gives him tons of range. So I don't get why they limited the top. Like this is fine. Do that in both spots. That lower joint is just incredible. Love that. For the hips, it's your standard Marvel Legends hips. Forward and back is pretty minimal. Out to the sides, decent. Thigh swivel is okay, but the leg pops off almost constantly. So for the knee, you just get another single joint, and it does rotate at the bottom. You're not going to need that. And then for the ankle, you have a little bit of an ankle joint, forward and back, and kind of an ankle rocker. That's just going to be to keep him stable. And then for this hip, it goes out to the side, not terribly, and forward and back is much better. Thigh swivel's okay. Single jointed knee again, a little bit better than 90 degrees. That's okay, it does still rotate. The ankle is much better, it goes all the way back and all the way forward and has an ankle rocker. Of course, because it actually looks like a foot. So articulation on this guy is, given the fact that he doesn't really have any rules to conform to, you'd think that he would have had better articulation. But he's kind of just blah. Which isn't surprising, honestly, but it could have been a lot better. It's not terrible. I don't know. I'm going to give the articulation a 7, I guess. Because some of it, like this is an awesome joint right here. But some of the joints are just stupid. Like this arm popping off is dumb. This one having no range is dumb. I don't get it. It feels like a very lazy figure to me. So final verdict, they were really onto something when they had the orange translucent plastic with the gold painted there. That's really cool looking. But then doing the rest of it with the other plastic with the red paint looks like crap. Half the articulation is crap, half of it's good. I'm going to give this figure a 6. It's just, I can't imagine anybody really wanting this other than it was in the movie and then they kind of want it because of that. But as a figure, it's not something you're going to enjoy owning. It's not. It's just goofy. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do give a thumbs up. If you didn't, please do give a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you might want to consider it. I have thousands of videos already on the channel and new ones coming out just about every single day. So make sure you come back for that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.